Well, the civil rights laws were very quickly hijacked to require racial preferences. And another term is affirmative action, but racial preferences is much more clear. Affirmative action can still be interpreted or translated by liberals as simply outreach, which it may have been for 2 days after the civil rights laws, but it very quickly morphed into lowered standards. Outreach has been going on forever. So, you had the idea that you needed to lower standards to bring blacks into institutions. And, if you insisted on immediate integration to the point of proportional representation, that was true, because there was back then as well an academic skills gap. I would say the most pernicious concept that came out of the law was the concept of disparate impact, which was a U.S. Supreme Court case, Griggs v. Duke Power, from 1971, that said that even if an employer was not discriminating against minorities, was colorblind, and had no intention to discriminate, but had job qualification tests that had a disparate impact on blacks because of the academic skills gap, that unless the employer could justify that under a very high standard of validity, that jobs qualification had to be tossed. And so what we have now with the concept of disparate impact is that any behavioral or academic standard that has a disparate impact on minorities is being thrown out the window and replaced with double standards. So the law right now is very happy to tolerate racial preferences and double standards, and treating reverse discrimination is the norm. And the jurisprudence in equal protection for college preferences is just an absolute nightmare. It's a horror. It's incoherent. It's filled with deceptions and fictions that just makes one cry. The whole thing should be tossed out and replaced with the empirical theory of mismatch, which is, as far as I'm concerned, a much more interesting way of getting at racial preferences than equal protection jurisprudence.